So, should the people rewrite the Constitution every time the government has a disagreement? Thomas Jefferson thought so. James Madison, when he was writing Federalist Number 49, he warns that this kind of cure could be actually worse than the disease, because a republic survives not just by listening to the people, but by refusing to turn every disagreement into a constitutional crisis. I'm Matt Haskell. I'm a high school history and civics teacher, and I'm talking my way through the Federalist Papers. We're kind of making this journey together. We're up to Federalist 49 on our way to number 85. And this is where we see Madison channel some Jefferson here. And so let's go ahead and kind of set the stage. So Thomas Jefferson argued that whenever the branches of government had a clash, the people should be called in through a constitutional convention to decide who was actually right. Now, Madison understood the temptation. It sounds democratic, it sounds pure, but he also knew human nature. He's talked about this in the last couple essays. But the constant appeals to the people would invite instability, and instability is the first step towards tyranny. So the Constitution's purpose is not just participation, it's also about preservation. So Madison's core argument here is that frequent constitutional conventions would weaken the Constitution itself. If the people are asked to intervene every time the branches are, at odds with each other, the supreme law of the land becomes just another political tool. And he writes, the people are the only legitimate fountain of power, but frequent appeals to them would carry an implication of some defect in the government. And so a constitution constantly amended loses authority. A constitution rarely amended gains reverence. So Madison's deepest concern in this essay is human nature, because he warns that calling people to judge the disputes that take place between the branches, well, that would unleash political passion precisely when calm judgment is needed. He writes again, the passions, therefore, not the reason of the public, would sit in judgment. So instead of solving disputes, conventions might actually magnify the disputes, and it would turn every controversy into a battle of factions. And so the Constitution is designed to cool passion, not to be rewritten in the heat of passion. So Madison then begins to look at the danger of unstable government. And he argues that governments need stability to command respect. Too many revisions would signal weakness. Too much volatility invites contempt or takeover. So another time he writes here, the more frequently the Constitution is appealed to, the more it would lose its sacred reverence. And so a Constitution must be firm enough to guide, but flexible enough to allow amendment, to allow changes. And those changes should come on rare, deliberate, and solemn occasions. Not every argument or quarrel deserves, the scissors and the glue for the cutting and the pasting. But Jefferson has a philosophical clash here. He was not involved in the writing of the Constitution. He may have had some correspondence going on here, but he was off in France. And so Jefferson, it was someone who is emphasizing the people's power. Madison is emphasizing the public's protection. Jefferson trusted frequent popular intervention. Madison instead trusted durable institutions. And so for Madison, a government constantly calling in the people resembles a house where every draft means, just rebuilding the roof of the house. So the people are sovereign, right? There's no doubt about that. But sovereignty doesn't require constant exercise. So Madison offers a better solution. Let the branches check each other through constitutional mechanisms, vetoes, bicameralism, judicial review, elections. These are structured, political, institutional ways to control overreach without dragging the nation into perpetual constitutional upheaval. The people remain the ultimate authority, but not like a daily referee. Now, Madison's logic here, his 5 reasons why, he stands up to Jefferson's argument, it would start with 1, the people are sovereign, but constant appeals to them undermines stability. His second point is frequent conventions invite passion. I already talked about this, but it doesn't invite reason. Thirdly, a constitution often amended loses respect and coherence. Fourthly, structural checks, not constant rewrites, keep the government in balance. And finally, stability strengthens liberty by preventing chaos. There they are, the 5 easy steps. Now, Madison's tone in his argument is firm, it is thoughtful, and it is protective. I mean, he has the biggest investment in the Constitution. I mean, he is the author of the Virginia Plan. This is mostly his baby. But he's not dismissing Jefferson in his argument. He's actually kind of refining what Jefferson has to say. Madison knows that a republic must resist the twin dangers of being too rigid, but also being too volatile. And he knows that the Constitution's authority comes not from constant changes, constant revision, but instead from consistent reliability. Madison's moral insight, then, is rather simple. The bold print would be, good government must be stable enough to protect rights even when passions run high. And so Madison trusts the people deeply, but trusts them most when they act deliberately, not impulsively. And a constitution should guide the people's energy, not be swept away by it. And so, if we kind of take this in modern context, with every debate that we have nowadays, about constitutional amendments, we should have term limits, we should have balanced budgets, we should put governors on federal powers, we should look at strengthening voting rights. All these things, they echo Madison's caution. Reform can be good, okay, but constant reform can be chaos. So Madison is teaching that durability is not undemocratic. It's the foundation on which democracy rests. So his takeaways would be, if he was here to tell us, the Constitution must not be rewritten in moments of passion, that stability is essential to liberty, and that the people are sovereign. But sovereignty works best through structure, not that constant upheaval. So Federalist number 49 is Madison's case for having a degree of calm amidst conflict. He reminds us that liberty requires not just popular power, but durable institutions that are strong enough to weather the disagreement without falling apart. The Constitution isn't sacred in Madison's mind because it's perfect. It's sacred because it is steady. I'm Matt Haswin, and hey, this was one of those things we should just know, right? And that's what I talk about. And in this episode, if this one kind of helped you understand why stability can protect freedom, without having to have constant change, take some time and share this, please. Or you can follow me, and then probably maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, I'll get to Federalist number 50 because I'm hard charging to get to number 51. I think that's the one that everybody's waiting for, but we're doing these in order. And in 50, this is where Madison's back again, and he's going to show why even when you have scheduled check-in conventions, they still fail to keep power in line. It's going to be something a little bit different than we've covered. All right. Hey, thanks for hanging around, and I'll talk to you in the next one.